Hi guys, it's Nicole and welcome back to my channel. Today I am working on sketch number 12 from the 6x6 sketch bundle that was offered from Scrapbook Generation. I am pretty much just kind of focused on working my way through these right now. I do have a couple layouts planned for my Easter Creating with Collections series. I just have not had the time to get to them. Today's day 4 of whatever you want to call what school is now, and I'm finding that my days are very long and they're not necessarily like completely chock full of, doing something for a 12-hour period. It's more of, okay, first I go do this, then I run downstairs and I go do this, and then I gotta go back upstairs. And thankfully it's not a lot of actual needing to teach or support teach. It's more of tech support and keeping them on schedule. And for whatever reason, the school decided to keep them on the schedule that they would normally have when they're at school, which includes separated lunches, which I find to be the most ridiculous part of this. So basically, my husband comes in and eats lunch, then one of the kids comes and eats lunch, then another kid comes and eats lunch, then I make something for myself, and I end up eating off to the side of my 4th grader, helping him with the computer part of his lesson while trying not to be on camera. So it's been an interesting week so far, and I have not scrapbooked at all, have not really filmed anything. So at this point I'm not sure sort of when and if I'm gonna have videos posting, which kind of bugs me. I do like to try to post as much as I possibly can. Right now, I'm not sure when that is, because typically by the time I get a break, it's 4 o'clock, and I just kind of want to do something where I don't use my brain. So a lot of times I will go catch up on like Big Brother or something and sit in a chair and stitch. Like, that's kind of been my calming thing right now, is cross stitch. So as soon as I do layouts and I do videos, I'm gonna go ahead and try to post them as quickly as I possibly can. So just kind of keep that in mind right now, and pray for all the moms with kids in school at their house right now. So sketch number 12, I knew looking at it that it was going to be a struggle for me. I've had page kits from Scrapbook Generation in the past that featured the entire background design tilted on a slight diagonal, and for whatever reason it drives me nuts. And I've had in the past where if it was in a page kit, I straightened the elements instead of letting them be diagonal. This time I kind of just told myself to go ahead and do it and be able to kind of check that off and say, okay, I did it. But man, it took me an hour to pick photos, figure out pattern arrangement, ink the edges, and get them put down, which typically for me, paper is kind of the quicker process of a layout. So that was kind of interesting. And I think hindsight, I probably would have picked different pictures. Like I would have picked pictures of them playing at the park or something more playful to go with that tilted element of the sketch. I literally just kind of scrolled through my photos and had some 6x6 pads in mind and just tried to match something up with that. So I've been using this Doodlebug Land that I love 4th of July line, which is super cute. I really do like it. So that was still out on my desk. So I just went back through and found some 4th of July pictures that I'm hoping I haven't already scrapbooked. I feel like sometimes I rely on my memory, and that's not a good thing to do. So I haven't checked yet to see if this is double dipping, but I don't think it is, because this specific year my son was not fearful of them yet, whereas now he's very nervous about fireworks. But at this age, he wanted to help his dad light the fireworks, and the smaller photos on her sketch were kind of spread out. I put them together because the images that I chose for my smaller ones kind of told a mini story they were all photos that I had taken where he was explaining to me basically how the fireworks go boom and how cool that was. And so I had sort of 3 photos in a row where, he's pointing at them and he turns around and he's doing something with his fists. And then the last one, he's getting ready to tell me that they go boom. So I kept those together and put them up with my journaling to kind of keep them together. And then this was also the year that my daughter was sort of able to participate. I think the year before this, we went ahead and put her down for bed and then went and lit a couple fireworks for my son. So she was very excited. She started out sitting in the kids' little Mickey Mouse chairs and was doing pretty good. And then we had a couple instances where, she was trying to touch things that didn't need to be touched and running out into the street. And, after a couple warnings, she just wasn't going to listen. So the photos where she's now securely strapped into a stroller, I did the group photo where she's crying and my son and I are smiling because that was pretty much how we spent the rest of our sort of fireworks time, was just her being mad. She finally did settle down and just kind of put her binky in and finished watching, the rest of the fireworks that we had. But it was just funny that at the time she was pissed, but it was obviously a safety issue. So we were like, we don't care that you're pissed. You need to be securely strapped in because there's 2 of you running around. And, my son was at the age where he kind of understood, even if he goes out and quote unquote helps dad light the firework, his rule was he had to immediately turn around and sit in his chair as fast as he possibly could, which of course he thought that was, that kind of became a game for him. So I kept the layout pretty simple, and that's kind of my go-to if I'm not real sure about the design or I'm just not feeling it. Plus, with all of those patterns and the fact that they're on a diagonal and the fact that I have a ton of photos going on, it becomes kind of chaotic to look at, in my opinion. So I keep my embellishments pretty simple, and the only thing that I even have that matches that pad, again, is that die cut pack. But there's so many in there that I don't feel like I'm not leaving myself any die cuts for the rest of the papers that I have. So again, I keep things simple in that instance. So I printed my journaling up on, I had a scrap of some of the white petite prints from Doodlebug where one side's like a white tone-on-tone floral pattern and then this side is like a grid. So I printed my journaling on there, and then I just managed to find this notebook edge punch. If you were looking for hard to find like older scrapbook supplies, I would suggest looking at Etsy. I was able to find this one. I think the store I bought it at only had the one. I'll double check, and if there's more, I'll post a link. But I have an older one from Stampin' Up, but it only does like 2 of the little like edge designs at a time, and they're bigger and spread out, and I wanted one that was like a for real border punch. So I did some Googling and managed to find this one. So I went ahead and played with that one with this layout too. And then again, I just went with a bunch of different die cuts, and I just kind of went with what I liked. The sketch did show a cluster with the title in the lower left, and then a cluster in the upper right with the journaling and everything, and I didn't do a third cluster or anything like that. I don't really feel like that's a rule that you have to follow. I'm kind of like rule breaker type where if I don't want to do it or I don't like it, I'm not going to. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my date. I did have somebody mention about putting my kids' ages on there. I don't do that, mostly just because I find it easy for me to know, okay, if this is 2014, she's 1 and he's 3. Like, that's just kind of how my mind works, so I just kind of do that. Sometimes on an album opener, I'll put their ages on something like that. So there's my completed layout, and then some up close shots of some of the details around the page. And again, make sure to hit that show more in the description box if you're looking for any sort of answers to questions that you may have. And I will post a link to the playlist where you can find other 6x6 paper pad layouts. And I'll catch you guys later. Bye.